Let's see now how to launch a Reflex-based ESO pipeline. The startup script is located in a subdirectory install/bin of the directory where you have installed the Reflex engine. First, you may want to see a list of the available workflows. To do that, type ESO Reflex with a -L parameter. If you want to launch any of those, type ESO Reflex and give it as a parameter the name of the workflow with a full path, like this. Instead of the full path, you can type the workflow name given in the first column. This will launch the window with the workflow in a moment. Alternatively, you can just type ESO Reflex and this will open an empty canvas. Then you can go to the File and Open menu like this to launch the workflow you want. Let's click on the Zoom Fit button to display the entire workflow better. All workflow canvas are separated into two parts. The upper part contains some basic instructions on the left, a section for directory path parameters at the center, and another section with global parameters. The lower part shows the actual data reduction process organized in steps from left to right. The blue-greenish squares are actors, like this one and this one. They are associated with the execution of pipeline recipes or Python scripts. Actors with orange background, like this one, are interactive. They can handle or even require human intervention. The black lines are relations, and they signify sets of files or sets of parameters that are communicated from one actor to another. Before starting the workflow, you may have to complete some setup actions. To set up the paths to the data directories, double-click on the parameter label or value like this. This will open a dialog box with a Browse option. However, for processing the sample data that come with the workflow, you don't need to modify any paths, so we will cancel this action for now. But to process your own data, make sure to modify the input directory paths as needed. It's important to keep the end product directory, this one, different from the raw data directory, this one. Otherwise, the data organizer will treat the data products as input files in the subsequent workflow executions. You can also modify any of the global workflow parameters in the upper right. For example, let's change the fits file viewer. We need to write the pull path, so we'll just copy and paste it here. And it's done. Other important parameters here tell the workflow how to handle errors, how to treat workflow interactivity, whether to delete temporary paths, etc. Note that the local parameters inside actors override the global parameters. Make sure to read the detailed instructions about the setup directories and the global parameters in the Reflex pipeline tutorial for the relevant instrument. Finally, to monitor the progress of the data reduction, select at Tools, the Animate at Runtime option, and set the delay time to 10, for example. This will highlight in red the currently executed actor. You are ready to start the workflow now. Press the Start button.